Okay, my Young and the Restless fans, yes, we had a good episode to talk about. First, Nikki enlists Tracy's help for the event. Diane is shocked when she finds Phyllis and Stark together. And Lily and Devon's feud take a shocking turn when Amanda stops Lily from talking to Devon. Welcome back to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where we recap everything CBS Soaps, both the Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful. This is your Young and the Restless recap for March 20th, and without any further ado, let's talk about this episode. So let's start out over at the Abbott estate, where we see Tracy welcoming Jack home and ask if he had a nice romantic getaway with Diane. And she was like, but it didn't last that long. Now, of course, Jack is excited and he announces that he proposed to Diane. Now, she was shocked at first, but luckily for him, she accepted. And his sister knew that he was going to find this type of love again. She is just so happy that he's happy and that he deserves it more than anyone. Now, Jack does appreciate that, but isn't so sure that everyone else is going to have that same reaction, and he's right. Now we're over at Devon's penthouse, and Devon is getting dressed, and Abby asks how he's feeling. And he's like, you know what, I got a great attorney, and he's feeling confident. Now, Abby points out that this might be the first time he's seen Amanda since they split up. Now, Devon still can't believe that Lily's twisting the knife deeper by bringing his ex back. Now, Abby wants to go with Devon to support him, but Devon doesn't think that's a good idea. And I don't know about that either. Now, Abby says that she just wants to support him, and she urges him not to let his anger guide him. He needs to not let Lily or Amanda provoke him. Now, he promises not to let his personal feelings get involved or affect what will be happening at the hearing. She's seen him passionate and angry, but worries that, he could get a little rattled. Now, he's glad that they've known each other long enough to know that she knows that. However, she worries that Lily and Amanda know that too. What if Amanda get in his face? Now, she pretends to be Amanda, grilling him about being a liar and a philanderer. Devon repeats that no matter what happens today, he can still come home to his life with her and Dominic. Now, in the grand scheme of things, he also said what counts is real love and a real relationship. And he's sure that she and Dom will always catch him. As she shows him out, they kiss. Then she's now thinking of when she and Devon had a conversation about the nature of love. And he told her how dangerous love is and how it whips you around like a rag doll. But you always feel like you'll be caught when you fall. Abby said, you know what, I've never had a love like that. And she smiles to herself and she sighs. Now, speaking of Lily, let's head over to Crimson Lights, where Daniel bumps into her and asks if she's ready for the arbitration hearing. Now, after making some jokes, he suggests that they take a moment to chat. Now, he wants to help her work through her anxiety and make sure that she's not second guessing herself. He wants her to stop beating herself up. They sit down and Daniel says he knows that family is important to her. That's why she got into the business. Now, Daniel explains that whenever something goes wrong for him, he has a post-mortem about it. And she was up all night doing the same thing. He says, well, this isn't on you. This is all on Devon. And they point out that she wants to preserve Neil's legacy too. Daniel tells her that she's built something, a legacy, and Devon has no right to tear that down. And she thanks him. Of course, this is what she thinks she needed to hear. And then they hug. So now we're over at the Grand Phoenix, where Phyllis is startled when Stark calls out to her. And now she reminds him that, look, we just made a big show out of washing her hands of him. They can't even be seen together in public, which, yeah, that makes sense. It's stupid for them to even be there and him being out there like that. Now, Stark was working out and is ready to sit down and discuss the next steps. And before they could head to the elevator, Diane pops up and declares, you know what? I should have known. Every word out of your mouth was a big fat lie. Now, Phyllis claimed that she had no idea he was back, and he says he only came back because he forgot forgot his lucky socks. Diane declares his tactic doesn't work on her and he has no power over her anymore. Phyllis asks Jeremy if he believes Diane because she doesn't find it believable at all. Now, Diane says that they're a match made in hell. And then Phyllis asks, well, how the hell was it when she died? Diane tries to shame her for using her own daughter as a pawn in her own scheme. And I agree with that part. She's gaslighting everybody. Now, Phyllis wonders if it's hard for her to manufacture this level of outrage. She was more believable before this saintly reform. Diane insists that she's changed, but Phyllis says, well, there are people here who will never forgive her, and they will be happy to see her pay. Now, Diane can't think of two people who deserve each other more than them, and it must really bother Phyllis that all her attacks only strengthen her relationship with Jack, and she accuses her of being obsessed with Jack's love of her. She, however, declares that they will soon hear news that will let them know that their hatred can't win. Diane doesn't have the time or the energy for this nonsense, and she leaves. So now Diane has arrived at the Abbott estate. Jack is there, and she fills him in about her run-in with Phyllis and Stark. Now, he doesn't find it hard to believe that his ex is still with Stark. They wonder about what those two could be up to. What are they planning? And she's sure that seeing them getting closer is only making Phyllis angrier. Losing out on his love have filled her with rage. Now, Jack thinks that Phyllis had painted herself into a corner, and I agree. He said that this is frustrating. He thought that she might reconsider her priorities given what it has done with her relationship with her kids. And she worries that Phyllis' drama mixed with Stark's twisted psyche could cause who knows what trauma. Now, Jack assures her that they won't let anyone take their happiness away, and then they hug. Now, back over at the Grand Phoenix, Stark and Phyllis go up to his suite, and she worries about what news Diane has. Now, Jeremy tells her not to get distracted. That's exactly what Diane wants. They need to focus on their plan, and she assures him, you know what, I got this. He asks if she's still on board with the plan 100%. She doesn't want to be micromanaged. He admires her confidence and say they make a great team, that they could light the world on fire. And as he kind of easing close to her, she pushed him back and tells him to stay focused and not get distracted. She waited a really long time to get back at Diane, and she can't be distracted by some handsome man. So now we're over at Society, and we see Tracy joining Nikki, eager to talk about the gala. Now, it still feels like there is so much to do, and Nikki tells her to double check the VIP list. This is going to be an unforgettable celebration. Now, Nikki wishes that they have more one-on-one time planning it together. Now, there's something about a mass ball that really speaks to Tracy, and Nikki is sure that it will prove to be a magical evening. And given the timing, Tracy thinks that everyone really needs an event like this. And Nikki wonders if she's talking about something specific. Now, Tracy vaguely glosses over that and says it's important to bring people together to celebrate something uplifting. And of course, Nikki doesn't buy it and asks for something even more specific. And she brings up the Stark situation and insists that it was all Phyllis's idea. Now, when she's left alone, guess who wanders in? Stark himself, and he's happy to see Nikki. However, she doesn't feel the same and makes it clear that she don't want him around. Now, he says of the three ladies who drew him back into town, she's the one he finds the most intriguing, and they're both from the wrong side of the tracks. She advises him not to make any assumptions about her, especially after breaking into her apartment. And of course, Stark says he was framed, and she suggests, you know what, just leave town. Jeremy claims that, look, I'm not a threat. He's fascinated that she turned on him so quickly, though. Does she think Diane is just the kind of person who's going to get what's coming to her? And he tells her that prison made him realize that there is more to life than wallowing in resentment. And he brings up the gala and offers a donation. And she tells him, look, your name is not on the guest list no matter how big your check is. However, he's determined to make the event a night to be remembered, and he smirks to himself as she exits. So now we're back over at the Abbott estate, where guess who shows up? None other than Phyllis, and Tracy is leaving. However, she finesses Tracy. Tracy allows Phyllis in. After sneaking around in the living room, she looks in Diane's purse and pulls out a ring in a box. Now Diane shows up, demands, saying, hey, what are you doing? However, Phyllis claimed, oh, I'm there to meet Summer. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Her enemy doesn't buy it, of course. And then turning, Phyllis places the box back in the bag and she sachets her butt out of there. And finally, over at Chancellor Winter's, Lily arrives and she finds Devon waiting. And she tells him, like, look, once they start this, there's no going back. Will you consider talking about this? However, before anything else can be said, Amanda arrives and tells her not to say another word. And yeah, this isn't looking too good. This is about to take a dark turn. Okay, so there you have it, your Young and the Restless recap for Monday, March 20th, 2023. Stay tuned for the Bold and the Beautiful recap also for today. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye.